go. Put a little action on my fly there. Nice jumping brownie. Hit the pink beaded Waltz, size 16. Back here, out here in central PA, it's October. Conditions have been just low and clear all fall, and we got more of that today. We had a little rain yesterday, but it didn't do anything to the river. It's just still super clear. So I have this is a nice deep run in here, so I do have 2 flies on using 7X. So we'll see how we do today. It was real chilly this morning. It's about 1 o'clock and really just started fishing. I do think on a day like today, it's supposed to get up around 62 today. I do think a day like today, they will be moving up into the shallow rifts. There we go. Seems like a decent fish. Better fish, I should say. There you go. This is a cool area. It's got depth, but it has all these, just a bunch of rocks out here. It's got a bunch of channels, and I just took that right down the middle of that one channel over there. Got this gorgeous brownie. Good, at least 13 inches, maybe 14. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Thank you, buddy. He came on the pink beaded Walt, size 16. So you can see all this foam out here, and once again, I'm standing, it's thigh deep water, but it just has these grooves like that, and I'm just trying to work each one of these channels. There we go. Decent fish. Actually, that's awesome. Just a soft spot right in front of me. Made an upstream cast, bringing it back. My sighter gave me a nice twitch there. Solid 12-incher. Coming on the pink beaded Waltz. Seems to be the ticket so far. 11 inches. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. So with this clear water, I'm actually standing on a rock now. With this clear water, this water out in front of me, you cannot do an up and across here. So I'm casting upstream, bringing it right back to me, staying underneath the fish, and it certainly worked that time right there. Just bringing it right back, just lifting my rod tip, staying tight to the sighter. Nice tuck cast. So there's a trough right here in front of me. I think I can get over on this side because there's some shade right there. I'm going to try to get a vertical sighter through here. There's a fish. Look at that. That's awesome. Oh, tail walker. So I was beneath this hole. I was making upstream casts, and clearly I was going over the fish, and that's why I thought if I could get on the side and use that dark water, that shade to my advantage, I could get a better drift. And sure enough, the first cast, I got this really solid, nice brownie. Pink Waltz in the kisser. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. So once again, this is a real deep trough. I don't know how deep it is. I can't see bottom. In knee-deep water. It's at least 3 feet here. So I was at the tail out of it, and I was making upstream cast, and clearly my bugs were not getting it to depth and it was getting over that fish. So I thought if I came to the side, use this shade to my advantage in the depth, I could get a vertical sighter, and sure enough, I got that guy. Just when you're encountering super clear conditions, you have got to use everything to your advantage. You just cannot roll up to a hole and expect the fish not to be spooked. You just got to assume that every step in the river you're going to spook fish. So if you fish that way and just be smart about it, you can put yourself in the best position to catch fish. There we go. Boy, I just sometimes you look at spots and think there's got to be a fish there, and there's a couple rocks to the left here, and then you've got this nice, just this nice riff to the right of it, maybe 1.5 feet deep. Now I know this is a little guy, but it's just one, boy, he's pretty. It's just one of those cool things where that I just felt like there was a fish there. Made a really nice cast and was rewarded. I just feel like, you know, this is the time that they're just going to start moving up in these rifts here. But I'm standing on the, you can see how shallow it is here. You can see this riffle. There's 2 rocks. It's just the perfect spot for a trout to be hanging out there. There's another one. Boy, he was at the tail out, or the tail end, I should say. I was trying to catch up to my sighter. I was lucky there. I was doing a really poor job of managing my line, but I was able to catch up with it at the end, and I just saw my sighter twitch right at the end of that. Boy, I'm really surprised because I had caught that fish. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. He came on a size 20 France midge in an olive. And I think I got all jacked up. So that fish got me all tangled up, and I'm telling you, do yourself a favor, cut your flies off and retie, and you will spend a lot more time fishing and a lot less time messing around with tangles. And he really had me jacked up. I cut off my flies and had it untangled in 30 seconds and tied my flies back on. Let me get that outer edge. Well, let's work this riffle a little bit more here before I move. There's another fish. Look at that. Yeah, see, it's that time of the day they're gonna move up there. And look at that. See, I was getting ready to move up and I thought I just need to work it a little bit more, and that's a third fish, and I don't know, was that 3 casts, 3 fish? I think it was, actually. Pink beaded Waltz. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Good stuff. So the lesson there is just if you think maybe you worked it well enough, or you caught a couple fish and maybe spooked them, clearly that was not the case there. Just gonna move up a little bit further here. The riff is shallowing out, but they still might be in here. I think I'm gonna go single fly here. Yeah, let's go single fly. I'm gonna cut my dropper off. It's too shallow there. Okay, I cut my dropper off, and I'm gonna work this with a single fly now. There we go. Oh, nice fish. Real nice fish. So just working this shallow riff with a single fly. This is a heck of a nice fish here. Boy, he looks like a rainbow. I think he is a rainbow. Man, I might have to chase him a little bit. Let's get him over here. So you can get them out of the main current, get it over here. It's a little bit slower, and it shallows out, and then you can really get the upper hand here. Boy, this is a fighter. It's a beautiful rainbow. What a fish. What a fish. Nice silvery, gorgeous rainbow. That is a chunk of a fish too. Man, that is a beauty. That is just a chunk of a rainbow. Look at that guy. Boy, that is a beautiful, beautiful wild rainbow right there. Thank you there, Mr. Bow. Thank you, Mr. Bow. That was awesome. What a chunk. What I liked about this here, what I did is, I was using, back here we had more depth. I had 2 flies on. I actually did get one on the dropper. But when I moved up here, it's very, I mean, that was, boy, I bet you that wasn't 12 inches of water. So, you know, I still have my dropper tag on. So I just cut the fly, go to single, or cut the dropper, I should say, just go to a single fly. That way you're just gonna get a better drift, more natural, and you're not gonna get hung up, because that's the last thing you wanna do is have too much weight on in these shallow rifts. Plus, my flies are about 20 inches apart. You don't want that dropper, sometimes it'll be actually out of the water. So just remember, when you get into those shallow areas, especially these shallow rifts, just use 1 fly. You're just gonna be better served doing that. There we go. Nice. Just tucked behind that rock, a little bit slower area, and it drops off that riffle, and it just dropped down that ledge, and he whacked it. And that was a terrible net job. 10-incher, but still pretty happy with that. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. You can see that rock, and then it just kind of dumps off, and it slows down right there in that dark area. There's a shelf, and I threw it up. It's a lighter area. I threw it there, and then I just saw it just kind of drop down in there, and he popped it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop back down. I haven't hit that side. I'm gonna drop back down, come down, and swing back up here. There we go. Seems like a decent fish. Super shallow water up there. I just broke my pink beaded Waltz off, and I just put on a oh, damn, he was a nice fish. Boy, he was a solid 16-incher right there. Damn. That was my first cast too with this bug. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it was about my 3rd cast. But this is just a pattern I came up with. This is a size 14 soft tackle. It's the name is to be determined, but I like what it's doing so far. I love those shoots. Love those shoots. Just one of those spots, man. Quick release. You can see this rock here, rock there, just the water collects. And I got him just on the left side, and boy, there's some of my favorite spots. There we go. Just on the outside there, super skinny water. Once again, man, they are just in this skinny water. It's a decent fish here, I believe. He's a rod bender. He's just a good fighter. 12-incher. He might be 13. Nice fish though, fatty. Yeah, he's 13. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Boy, that is really shallow water. I caught that fish in right there. You can see this riffle right here. He was in that slower side over there. Let's walk over there. I'm going to show you that water he's in. I'll show you how shallow that was. This is water that people just aren't going to fish. I'm standing. It's actually not even up to my knees. So you're talking, I mean, there's certainly enough depth here. It's 18 inches, but the bank is right here. It's a foot and a half right here. And then you would think the honey hole's right there, but he was right over here. These fish are definitely feeding good today. They have moved up in this shallow water. Love these kind of days. And I caught him on the to be determined bug. In that little pocket there, and it's just in time for the 2 o'clock little J train. A decent fish. So that's a really nice fish. So there's been a pattern that's been established here today. Just the more I've been fishing, the more and more I realize that these fish are up in the shallow water. So I started out the morning. I'm gonna have to change my fly here. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. So I started out this morning, and I was fishing. I was fishing some of the nice runs, and the fish just weren't there. They just absolutely weren't there. I ended up moving into some slower water, put a honey badger sculpin on, and I caught some fish on that. And then I saw a few risers up against the bank, and I caught one on that. But everything is dependent on the temperature, especially this time of year. So if you roll into this riffle area, these shallow riffs, in the morning, and it's this morning it was about 39 degrees. The fish just are simply not going to be there. And as the temperature rises, the water temperature comes up, and then they're going to start moving up into the rifts, and that's what's happening right now. So pay attention to where you're catching the fish. I mean, if you catch 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 in the same type of water, there is a pattern that's being established. So really find those areas and really fish those areas well. And that's what I'm doing right now. And they are definitely up in the shallows here. There we go. It's a nice fish here. This is a nice fish. Boy, I mean, you can just see that spot. I don't even have to talk about how great it is, how great looking it is. This is a solid brownie right here. A lot of rocks. Let's get him out of here. There we go. what a beauty. There we go. Boy, he is all colored up. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Look at that brownie. Boy, what a fish. 16 inches right there. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Brown. That is awesome. Got him on my no-name bug. Boy, you can just see this shallow. It just dumps off. Nice riffle, and then there's just a gully right there, and he was right on that edge. Just when it dropped off, he popped it. I'm having a heck of a day. I caught some nice fish today. There's another fish. Oh, this is even bigger. This is a big fish right here. Woo! He is going berserk. Get him out of those rocks. This is a heck of a nice fish. Oh, yeah. This could be 18. Get this head up. He's in this little depression, just dogging me. There we go. Get him in the shallow water and turn him. I can slip him into the net. There we go. That is a big fish right here, boys. That could be 20 inches right there. That could be 20 inches. What a fish, what a fish. Look at that guy right there. Heck of a nice fish. Heck of a nice fish. Look at that head. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous brownie. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Brown. I think this bug is a keeper. Good stuff. Good stuff. Two nice fish out of that same spot right there. Pretty sweet. That looks like a pretty juicy spot right there. Getting the right spot to make a cast. There we go. Bust my butt here. It's a nice fish. Well, not as nice as I thought it was. It's a good fighter. Quick release. You can see I got myself in the right position. It looks really nice there. He hit kind of at the tail of that right there. I put all kinds of slack in the line. I was off balance. No wonder I lost it. There we go. skinny water. Just working this skinny water here. It might be 1.5 feet deep. Got a net full of leaves and a nice little brownie in there. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Brown. This bug has been good to me today. I don't like tons of flash in my bugs. I mean, I do have a few flashy bugs like the blowtorch, but I really like subtle type bugs. If I put an orange collar on, it's going to be a real small orange collar. I do like pink beads. I've done well in that today, but when the water's clear, especially when it's clear, I just don't like to use a lot of flash. And that bug right here that I've tied, this new bug, it's very stealthy. I mean, it's in a UV body. I've used a beige thread with a black collar or a black ribbing, and I have a little black Spectra ice dub and a CDC collar copper bead. So it's just a very non-flashy bug, great for this clear water, and it can really represent a lot of things. I mean, it can represent a caddis, it can represent a larger mayfly, even a smaller stonefly. It's just kind of an all-around bug. It's been really good to me today. There we go. Boy, look at that. How many casts did I make there? How many casts did I make there? It just shows you. You just got to get that right drift. They're going to get in this skinny, fast water. There's a little guy. They're going to get in this skinny, fast water, and they're going to tuck themselves behind a rock, and you have got to get it in front of their grill, or they're just not going to come up. Thank you there, little buddy. So still working this skinny water here. I'm trying to pop one back in there, but this right edge looks really, really nice because it's a little bit slower. But I'm going to try to get one back in there. It's not quite what I wanted. A little better. There we go. Boy, I was trying to get right on that edge, just under those bushes, and I got the right cast. It's a pretty decent fish too. Maybe 14, 13. There you go, buddy. Nice brownie. There you go. Solid 13-incher. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. So you can see these bushes, these overhangs. I was trying to pop it back in there, which I did, and I was trying to skirt just underneath, and sure enough, he was right there and he banged it. Once again, these fish established a pattern right around noon. All these fish started moving up into the skinny water. I mean, it's not even knee deep in here. Right below me, super deep. I think I picked up one fish there. It looked so good. Nothing. I get up in this skinny water, and this is where the fish are today. The fish are always going to tell you. You just got to pay attention to the patterns, and clearly they are up in the skinny water today. go. Right underneath that overhanging limb there. And I don't know if you saw that cast. Devin Olson calls it a parallel kick cast. I just call it a, I don't know, I just call it a reach cast. I mean, so I'm throwing upstream and then I'm adjusting my rod in the air. And you need to do it in this skinny water, because if you, let me pull my bug in here and show you here. So if you make the cast and don't adjust your rod in the air, what's gonna happen is you're gonna cast, the bugs are gonna hit, and your sighter is gonna get ahead of your rod tip. So you need to make that adjustment in this fast water to get your rod in the right place so you can have that right sighter angle. So once again, I'll show you here. So make that adjustment in the air. It's in the right spot near the fish. See, I had to do it. Had I not done that, I wouldn't have been tight to my sighter, and I would have never felt that fish, or saw the fish, I should say. Thank you there, little buddy. There we go. These are little guys, but still sure are fun. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Just working this softer edge here, and then I will move over there. So this looks really good here. You still have that rolling water, but there's a soft bank over there, and it seems a little bit deeper over there. I got all kinds of limbs and everything I'm dealing with, but there we go. Once again, I made that reach cast, got it under those limbs, and I got this little guy. Thank you there, buddy. There we go. I knew it. It's a decent fish too. No, felt a lot bigger. But boy, he was right on that soft edge, tucked up against that, just off of that tree. Thank you there, little buddy. He was tucked up against that tree. There's a soft spot over there. I threw it up there, got ahead of it, and he popped it right in that soft spot. I really felt like there was going to be a fish there. They've got their feed bags on today. So here's the bugs I was using today. The honey badger sculpin on the far right. I did catch about 3 or 4 this morning, jigging through some deeper cuts. To the left of that is a size 16 pink beaded Waltz. I caught a few on a size 20 France midge, and then to the left is the bug that I hadn't named, but I just absolutely caught some really nice fish on it. So I'm going to be calling it quits here on the Little J. Boy, what a day I had. Started out actually a little slow this morning just because it was really cold. I mean, the temperature was 39, so the fish just were not active. And I think we probably started fishing around 10:30 or so, but right around 12, when it started warming up, I moved up into the riffles, and that's when I started catching the fish. And once I started catching them, I mean, I literally caught them all day long in the really, really skinny water. And I was single fly nymphing all day, pretty much. I did catch a few this morning on a honey badger, jigging through some deeper runs, and then I got one on a dry dropper. But once they moved up to the riffles, it was action all day long. Caught some really nice fish today too. Got that beautiful 20, it was a smidge under 21 inches. Just a great day. And like I said, I probably said it multiple times in the video, but you know, the fish are gonna tell you where they're at. You know, once you start catching 1 or 2 or 3 in the same type of water, some sort of a pattern is established, and that's exactly what happened today. So when you're out on the stream, especially this time of year, you know, it's really interesting. These really juicy looking runs, the fish just simply were not in. They were in the skinny water. So, you know, you could be out here fishing this beautiful water and just simply think that fish aren't biting. And the reason they're not is because they moved up into the super skinny water. So just pay attention when you're out there on the stream. When those water temperatures get up and you're starting to see some bug activity, those fish are gonna move up into the shallow rifts, especially this time of year. I mean, they're getting ready for the spawn, so they're really getting their feed bags on. If you like this video, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I'm happy to help you out. And once again, if you like what I'm doing, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. And as always, tight lines, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye.